Yeah, and the ticker will come up and all that, right? On your live stream. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, ticker or anything right now. Oh, there it goes. And it's
Hello, everybody, and welcome tonight here to Texas Motor Speedway here in the Magic Manzo ARCA series for the Silver Slate Slot Car 100 here in the original Rebels Racing League. My name is Zach Wetstein. I'm here tonight with Jamie Barkus and Patrick Drabick. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, outstanding, Zach, man. I appreciate you having us up here in the booth, and I'm really looking forward to this ARCA race this evening.
Yeah, and congratulations on getting through that tongue twister. You did well, Zach.
I appreciate it. I made that a point to get through it. We got your race information up on screen here. Mile and a half racetrack. A racetrack with two completely different ends of the racetrack. 1 and 2, a lot more flat than 3 and 4. And you see track temperature right now is 96 degrees, fellas. That is definitely going to go up higher when we get into the race session.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a little cool for Texas right now, and as the race gets going here, I expect that to the temperatures to come up, and as they lay a little bit of rubber down on the track, it'll slick up a little bit, and these guys will be fighting a little bit of a loose condition.
Yeah, not to mention these ARCA cars are loose by design, anyways. Definitely loose getting off. So look for there to be issues getting off of 2 and 4 for most of this race.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to when we get going to race here. Once we get into some green flag laps after the initial start, we'll go ahead and kind of hop into an in-car from somebody on track just to see how these ARCA cars get around this mile and a half racetrack and really see how different 1 and 2 is from 3 and 4. It may look similar there on that graphic, but they are completely different. We're going to go ahead and pull up your schedule real quick while we have time. There you see your schedule up there. 67 laps here tonight. And then we head to Homestead Miami Speedway next Friday night for another 67 lap event. Talladega, Charlotte, and Michigan round out the season. So a good amount of mile and a halves, 2.5 mile and a 2 mile track. So a lot of variety of tracks still left on the schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these guys coming off of Chicago last week and a mile and a half, and then coming here to a little bit hotter of a track, a little bit different of a track here at Texas Motor Speedway. So should be interesting to see how these guys wheel these ARCA cars around here. And like Jamie was saying, and you were saying, Zach, definitely two different corners to this track, two different ends to this track, and I think they'll be fighting that loose off condition all night long.
All right. Well, looks like qualifying is wrapping up. So we're going to go ahead and go into your race grid here tonight for the ARCA series. Garrett Kinder gets the pole spot with a 29.904. Jonah Colbert gets the second spot on the grid. Aaron Adcock qualifies third tonight with Mickey Isaac in fourth. P5 goes to Stephen L. McDonald with Kerry Moore on his outside in sixth. P7 goes to Todd Schott with Kai Schappert starting this one in the 8th position. Kenny Leap qualifies 9th with Spencer L. Gay on his outside in 10th. P11 goes to Charles Stevens Jr. with Brandon Wallace in the 12th position. 13th tonight goes to Sam Wetstein with Tyler Rice in 14th on his outside. 10 of Dave Jones qualifies 15th with Philip Manzo starting this one in 16th. P17 goes to Eric Burkhalter with Ray Page on his outside in the 18th position. Josh Oswald qualifies 19th with Josh Smith qualifying in the 20th position. Joaquin Meza gets the 21st spot with Jesse Nekula on his outside in 22nd. Matt Clemon starts this one in 23rd with Kyle Roberts on his outside in 24th. 25th goes to Anthony Reiner with Mike Veith in 26th. Jacob Ellingson qualifies 27th with Jason Lottridge in the 28th position on his outside. Magic Mike Uribe starting this one in 29th with Gene Watkinson in the 30th position. John Geiss, 31st, and rounding out the field, a very long field of 32 cars, is Eric Santee.
Yeah, that's a big field for this evening, and congratulations to Garrett there on the pole this evening. And it's a pretty tight field down through first through 30-something cars out here. So I'll be anxious to see how these guys get out here on these first couple laps, and I think it's going to be a pretty tight race tonight, Jamie.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see Magic Mike back out here tonight. I know last week I think he was feeling a little under the weather, couldn't make the race, so good to see him back.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad he was able to get through that well, and he's joining us back on track in every series that he races in. So looking forward to seeing him in many more races after this one.
Yeah, absolutely. It is always fun to see Magic Mike out there, and it's fun to see a lot of these guys come out here and race in a lot of the series that they race in. I mean, some of these guys in the field tonight are just coming off that race at IRP. We just finished up in the Xfinity series, so doing 190 laps there because we ended up with 3 green-white checkers, and coming out here and for this ARCA race, there's some guys out there that are putting a lot of work in, and it's awesome to see.
Yeah, 2 completely different tracks, but both of them are very tough, IRP and Texas. As Garrett Kinder and Jonah Colbert going to bring the field to the green flag to start off the race. The green flag is out, and we are underway here at Texas Motor Speedway as Garrett Kinder leads the field to turn 1.
And they are 2 by 2 and even 3 wide going into 1. See some guys, and that's the great thing about Texas Motor Speedway. You will see a lot of different lines, a lot of different racers running up high and running down low, and just really hustling.
Big wreck, wreck.
No. A car flipping all over the place, and oh my God, there's even more carnage.
And I think they are just getting collected up and trying to see through the smoke here to see who all was involved.
I think that was Charles Stevens Jr. who was on his lid he was on his lid a lot. And they updated I believe a couple weeks ago or so, they updated the damage package on these. So we're about to see some of that carnage firsthand here as we get your wreckage replay. It's turned it. Oh my goodness.
That is tough. And he just all the way through 3 and 4, just spinning on his lid and then down into the tire wall.
Thankfully, he didn't land on the tires.
Yeah. Wow. That's unfortunate. He had such a good run earlier tonight. Shame that's happened to him already here in the early going. Going to have to use that fast repair early.
Yeah, and that's just that's what you got to get through here at Texas is just get through the first 2 or 3 laps, and it can really kind of spread out. But for those first couple of laps, a lot can happen.
And, a lot of guys get a little anxious there on the start of these races. I mean, on restarts and everything, you got to get everything that you can get. And I think a little of that came into play there. But he got his fast repair. He's back out there coming out of pit road. So hopefully that's the only action he sees this evening and can bring that car back up through the field.
Yeah, absolutely. You never wish for anyone to wreck, especially that big. Thankfully, he had a quick repair, and you see that car nice and shiny looking now with how it's supposed to look. Garrett Kinder maintained the lead through that first lap, so he'll take us to our first restart of the race, and he'll actually be able to control when the field goes this time.
Yeah, a little bit dissimilar from the race we had earlier this evening. He'll be able to really determine where he restarts and be able to hook up that 76 ARCA car and launch off and have a great restart.
Yeah, at a track like this, you know, maybe the super speedways you don't want to get too good of a jump, but at a track like this, 1.5 miles, get as good of a jump as you can and separate yourself from the rest of the field, just in case something like that happens. If you don't get a good jump and you're side by side with second, well, anything can happen. A wreck can happen between you two. So if you get a good jump and you're clear into turn one, unless you wreck yourself, nothing bad can happen.
It'll be interesting to see how these guys, when the field sorts itself out a little bit, whether they end up going down to the bottom of the track or come up to the high side of the track and, you know, try to save a little bit of tires. So we haven't had a chance to see that quite as of yet, but I'm looking forward to see how these guys kind of spread out a little bit and what lines they end up running, Jamie.
Yeah. Well, definitely need to see that after it gets spread out some and get some laps. We haven't gotten a good look at it yet. That's going to come. They're going to get this sorted out. We'll get some green flags here. Definitely need to see what it's going to look like when tires wear.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe in 1 and 2 they might use a little bit of the middle lane, but 3 and 4 is so flat out with the gas pedal. I don't know about in these cars, but I'm pretty sure it is. It's so flat out with the gas pedal that you want to take the shortest way around the track, which is that bottom.
Yeah, I think in these ARCA cars, and I haven't had a chance to run these here in Texas, you know, I would think, and once we get that in car and be able to show these guys and what they're doing, I think they're flat out. But getting ready to take the green here, so I'll turn it over to you, Zach.
First restart of the race here in lap 4 of 67, and Garrett Kinder, like we said, he gets to go whenever he wants, and he uses it to his advantage as he is clear for the lead ahead of Jonah Colbert. Into turn 1, Jonah Colbert might have a little bit of a battle for second from Aaron Adcock, but he backs off, and, well, it's actually pretty single file throughout the field already.
Yeah, a couple of the guys back there dicing it up a little bit, but you know, your top 5 or 6 got single file pretty quickly and down to the bottom of the track. Got a couple guys still running up high and battling for position back throughout the field. But Garrett's out front and running that nice low line and keeping that car straight.
Jonah's making a dive to the bottom, make a move on him, see how it works getting off the corner. He's definitely closing ground.
Yeah, Garrett ran, it looked like a little bit of a higher line in 1 and 2 than Jonah Colbert did. Maybe save that right front a little bit more.
Yeah, looking like Garrett's definitely diamonding the corners a little bit more than Jonah is. Jonah's entering pretty low, but as we kind of ride along here with Garrett is really putting those left sides on that white line and driving it hard off. As we come down the back straight here, as he enters into 3, and a little bit higher. I like to see him kind of pinch it down, hits that white line, and drives it straight off. So we'll see how Jonah is able to kind of keep pace with him here a little bit and what line he ends up running.
I can't remember which one of you said it, but you said this ARCA car was maybe built more to be loose, and you see it. If you pay attention here in 3 and 4, that car is on the edge all the way around 3 and 4.
Yeah, you can see it right there. Garrett getting off the corner, that tail end was hanging out. These cars are definitely a handful. It's throttle control. Anytime you drive these ARCA cars, it is a clinic in throttle control.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from Garrett's in car, you can see him steering that car back to the right, going through those corners. So they are definitely battling that loose condition.
I want to take a look here on the nose of Jonah Colbert just to see if that rear end of that car is wiggling as much as it looks like it is. Yeah, you can see that car moving left to right in the rear a little bit. I think we'll see it wiggle a little bit more as the run goes on and that right rear gets burned off more. But right now, the outside, it doesn't look as loose as it does in the inside of the car.
No, you can definitely see Garrett taking a little bit different on the line. Go ahead, Jamie.
Caution.
We've got a caution. Caution's on the track right now. I'm not sure where it's at, but
oh man, look at Gene Watkinson's car.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I'd like to say that I think Gene was a part of the wreck. That car is actually, I don't think he was a part of the caution though. Because I mean that car, yeah, I'm not seeing anything. He's been a part of a wreck, obviously, but I don't know if it was that
Yeah.
caution. I'm not sure.
That is a lot of damage to that car right there. He is wrinkled on the right and left sides.
As our second caution here tonight on lap 11. We were just starting to kind of get into the beefier part of that run before that caution came out. And we were going to start seeing who was saving those tires better, because I think we were, 5 or 6 laps into that run. And, I mean, you get to 10 or 15 at this track, and those tires are really going to start wearing off.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Be a big drop off, and Jonah was giving Garrett everything he wanted. There was a lot of pressure being applied there, and it looked like there was some racing going on between Mickey and Aaron for third place too. The 01 was all over the back of the 23, so it's been some close racing up front. Bad timing on that caution.
Yeah, not really surprised to see that the leaders have stayed out. Haven't had a whole lot of green flag laps on those tires. Texas is one of those tracks that doesn't tend to eat up a lot of tires. But again, with these ARCA cars and being as loose as they are, I would suspect, if we get another caution, that our leaders would come down and get some fresh tires for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, we have 3 sets of tires. Now, I don't know if that's 3 extra or, 1 set of tires that you start on and then 2 extra sets. So if you only have 2 extra sets, then I could see why nobody's really pitting there. But if you do have 3 extra, I don't know. I think I would have pit there. We were already starting to see lap times fall off at least a decent amount. And if we go green the rest of the way from this restart, if anybody takes tires here, they're going to have an advantage. Now, the disadvantage of that is you'll be starting at the end of the field, and you'll use up your tires so much getting through the field that it might not even matter.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always that decision you have to make, as a driver when these cautions come out, especially if they come out back to back or early in the race, is do you stay out? Do you come get those tires? And what the difference is going to be. And Garrett, he's got a decision to make, because sometimes, you make the decision, you come down pit road and everybody else stays out, and you're like, well, can I battle my way back up through there? And, so it's tough. It's tough to make these decisions, but it seems like most of the field stayed out, so I think he's in a pretty safe position here.
Yeah, and I assume we'll get the 1 to green the next time by. Restart on lap 15. And another chance for Jonah Colbert, Aaron Adcock, Mickey Isaac, these guys in the top 5, Kai Schappert, to try to take that lead away from Garrett. But that 76 car early on has looked pretty strong.
He definitely has. He seems to run a little bit higher going in, and I think that's really a tire conservation strategy on his part. Garrett is a very, very smart driver, and I've seen him in a lot of races, and I've raced with him a lot, to know that, if you don't maintain the gap with him, he'll come back and get you, because he knows how to take care of his equipment. But there's some other guys back there, and, Jonah, a heck of a racer, and I've seen him win some races as well. And we've got a couple other guys coming up through the field, and it's good to see them coming up through the field as well. So by no stretch of the imagination is this race over, and I'd like to see some more guys get up there and challenge Garrett here for the win.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it compares to last week, because last week's race there was a lot of comers and goers. It seemed like the top 5, other than Garrett pretty much controlled most of that race last week as well, but the top 5 seemed to be different almost every restart. Guys just making their way up through the field. And so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out tonight. Is it going to be these top 4 that run away with it, or are we going to see some people make their way up and challenge for this lead?
All I'm saying is Josh Oswald in 11th right now. He started this one 19th. He's usually known for making his way through the field, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him up there near the end of the race.
Absolutely, and he is one of those guys last week as well. He started in the back, and it wasn't too long before we were talking about the Jet being in the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And even, Jesse Necula, he's coming up through the field, and another one of those guys that always seems to find his way up to the top 5 by the end of the race. So it's fun to watch these guys come up through the field, and we'll have to see how this restart goes there, Zach.
Yeah, right now your first and third runners, Garrett Kinder and Aaron Adcock, both finished 1-2 last week. So both of those drivers looking to have a repeat. Maybe Aaron Adcock thinking to himself, I want one more spot than I did last week. As Garrett Kinder, a great jump and not a great jump for Jonah Colbert. That's going to give that second spot to Aaron Adcock.
Yeah, that Krispy Kreme Chevrolet looks like it's ready to eat, huh?
Great way of putting it.
Yeah. We don't want to start talking about donuts, man. Now I'm starting to get a little bit hungry, and now I'm going to notice the Krispy Kreme all night long. But he definitely had one heck of a restart, got down to that bottom line and powered past. So we'll see what he has for Garrett up front as they continue to run green here.
Yeah, Garrett early on in this run, about 2 or 3 car lengths ahead of second place, and you really see, I'm not seeing anybody right now, at least up front, that runs that white line in 1 and 2 better than he does. He finds a way to get it down there and keep it down there. 3 and 4, just because of how loose the car is, he never really gets down to that white line, but he does a nice job at holding his line. But he'll probably prove me wrong this time, but if we watch him through 1 and 2, I've seen him really hugging that white line the best out of anybody once he gets to the apex of the turn.
We have had a pass on the for 4th spot. Kai Shappert has taken over in the 60 car for 4th and moved Mickey Isaac back to 5th.
Yeah, and there is a great battle going on for second place right now. And a pass for second place. It definitely seems like right now that lower line is the line to be in. I'm seeing a couple guys that running up a lane and a half up, maybe a little bit of tire strategy, but that lower line is definitely prevailing.
Yeah, that battle for second that you were talking about, Jonah Colbert passes Aaron Adcock back for second, so you can gain a spot on a restart, but if someone's faster than you and you're at a track like this where you can make a pass, well, that person's speed is going to end up surpassing you eventually. You might be able to hold that spot, but Aaron Adcock, he's not giving up. He's fighting back just behind Jonah, and Jonah, he's getting close to Garrett. So we really almost have a 3-car battle for the lead kind of conspiring here.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys, and if Garrett looks in his rearview mirror, he's gonna see a lot. I mean, they are definitely battling hard behind him. And making up ground on him.
Speaking of his mirror, I thought I'd do this in car. I don't see anything in his mirror. That's a very odd play. Maybe it's the spoiler, but I can't see anything in his mirror.
Well, if I was him, I wouldn't look in the mirror. Just look out the front because you don't want to see what's coming.
It's here.
Inside. And it looks like he's probably going to pull Aaron right along with him to take and shuffle Garrett back to 3rd before this is all said and done. But, hey, Garrett's fighting back on the outside, so we'll see. Might have spoke too soon.
I think it's...
Yeah,
Go
ahead, Zach.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think it's... And we didn't see it from Garrett, but I think it's easier to hold somebody down from the outside line in 1 and 2s. They almost make contact. Ooh. It's a little bit easier to fight back on the outside in 1 and 2 because 3 and 4, it's almost so flat out that you can't get a good enough run on the outside.
Yeah, and this is really the first time, 22 laps into the 67 lap race that we have seen Garrett back in traffic, and we'll have to see, how he deals with that and how he's able to keep up. But those front 2 cars are actually really starting to pull away a little bit, Jamie.
Yeah, and Garrett's looks like he might be starting to get a little bit of pressure from Mickey Isaac, who's made his way back into 4th. I don't know. Maybe Garrett ran his tires a little too hard. We'll have to see. But Aaron he's all over the bumper of Jonah right now. This is fun.
And you guys got to think about it. That caution cooled these guys' tires down, but you got. I mean, they at least have 10 or more green flag laps now on these tires, and so it may take them a little while to heat back up for that to matter. But now that we're into this run, that's going to take effect once again. Is how you've taken care of your tires so far. And Jonah Colbert, Aaron Adcock. We did just see Aaron Adcock almost making a pass, but Jonah Colbert right now in the lead, maybe taking a little bit more care of those tires early on.
Zach, all I'm thinking about right now is how we can get some Krispy Kreme donuts up in the broadcast booth.
You know what? I have not been able to look away from that car.
I mean, we're up here, coming on 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I think we can use some Krispy Kreme donuts. So as Garrett moves right past him. So again, as we were talking about earlier, Garrett's a really smart driver, and he knows how to take care of his equipment. So I think he may have been playing a little bit of cat and mouse there and let those guys go by and see what he has for Jonah to get back up front.
One thing we got to start thinking about here is they run 60% fuel. They make it so you have to at least pit once for fuel, and I think if we get to halfway before a caution can come out, I think we're going to start seeing some people pit to try to maybe short pit the leaders. As we're seeing a lot of action, I think, back here. Oh, no, never mind. It was just people blinking on my screen. We do have racing here, though. Spencer Gay in the 11 on the outside.
Yeah, there's definitely some guys back here, and there's been still a little bit different strategy on what line they're going to run. And you see the 47 right here that really, kind of diamond and still even with that damage, diamond that corner a little bit and got that good run off to make that pass there. So, finding the line to run here at Texas is incredibly important. Getting into the corners and really that drive off.
The 11 is all over the back bumper of the 47. That's Spencer Gay on the back bumper of Josh Smith, as this is a tight battle for the 22nd position. As there's also battling in front of him.
That is a very wounded 47 car there. So, you know that he's behind the wheel of that car right now, really battling. Probably at this point in time a very tight car. He's lost a lot of aero on the nose of that. Fender's all wrinkled up and in that. So, he is really wheeling that car right now.
And we've got the 111 of Gene Watkinson has just made his way to pit road. Had some damage to the car. Not sure if it's something that has happened this time around or previously or not.
And if we go back up here, Garrett Kinder about 4/10 back from Jonah Colbert, about a half a second ahead of Aaron Adcock. So maybe Garrett Kinder starting to make his way back to try to make a pass for the lead and get that clean air back.
Yeah, he is definitely stalking at this point in time. I think he's been real patient. As you can see in that corner right there, he is putting those tires right on that white line and being able to drive it off. So, coming up on halfway into this race, being real patient. It almost looks like a little bit that, our first place car there has picked up a little bit of a push. As you can see, he's not quite able to get down to that white line, and he's running about a half a lane up.
And he actually just got the wall a little bit coming through the tri-oval.
31 laps now into this race as we are getting close to halfway in this one, and yet to see, I think we saw one green flag pit stop up until now, but that as a race car, in the race car, you got to start thinking to yourself when you want to start pitting, just in case no caution does come out the rest of the race. You gotta make sure you make the right call.
And I'm telling you, that is one of the toughest decisions. We talked a little bit earlier under caution about, do I pit, do I not pit? Are the guys, behind me coming, or are they not coming? And sometimes it can be a very lonely feeling. But I can tell you, the worst feeling is when to pit under green. And really, these drivers right now are looking at not only fuel mileage, but what their drop-off is. And, if a guy like Garrett can pit a lap or two early, does that make up, the gap in between him and the leader right now? And so it really becomes a game of when do they pit, and is it the right time, and can they make up that little bit of time on the track to get back out in front?
Jonah Colbert still leading this one. I think we saw Magic Mike come down to pit road. He is. Oh, some big right front damage to that car.
Yeah, he has definitely gotten into the wall with the right side of that car. You can see a whole lot of right front tire, so the fender is definitely pushed back in, but saved that fast repair.
Oh, you
got that car fixed back up, and looks like he's going to get back out there and get back underway.
Yeah, it looks like he did use that quick repair to fix up that right front. And, I mean, I think it's a smart choice because if a caution doesn't come out, you're not going to have another chance to fix it, so might as well just get it all fixed in one.
And it looks like now Jonah has opened up the lead a little bit on Garrett. He's got a 0.7-second lead. And Mickey Isaac has now worked his way up to third, with Aaron Adcock in fourth and Todd Schott rounding out the top five. The top five are still within 4 seconds of each other, though. So
I'm sorry, but Garrett Kinder dipped down to pit road late. I thought Mickey Isaac was going to hit him.
Yeah, and that's not a surprise to me. Garrett understands his car and understands, what the fall off is, and wants to come get those fresh tires now and see if he can't make up some of that time on the track. So it'll be interesting to see where the leader and some of those other cars in the top five, decide to come and pit with the first guy coming to pit road right now, and we see a lot of action on pit road.
Yeah, I was about to say, guys, we got a lot of action. So one car brings all, it seems like.
Jonah didn't go this time around, and he actually had a close call in the trial over there with the lap car to the outside, not with the lap car itself, but he was trying to give him as much room as possible and almost went through the grass.
I think Jonah's coming this time. You cannot let Garrett Kinder have a couple of laps on you on fresh tires.
Absolutely not. That's cannot happen. I'm surprised that he didn't go to lap 4.
Yep. Our leader comes down on pit road, and we'll have to definitely see how those 2-lap fresh tires help out Garrett and where he cycles out. Especially as Jamie was saying, it seems our leader Noah is having a little bit of trouble with some lap traffic there. So as this thing sorts out, going through green flag stops, it'll be interesting to see how this strategy plays out.
Yeah, I want to call it right now. I mean, if Garrett Kinder didn't have any issues on pit road, I think he's going to be in the lead when this cycles around, because those couple of laps may not seem too big, but a couple of laps where you're a second and a half faster than the guy on track is it's very important, especially when he was under a second when he pit from our leader. So I think we're going to see, if no caution comes out and Garrett didn't have any issues, I think we'll see him take over that lead once everything cycles through.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the key to that whole thing, Zach, is no caution comes out. All these drivers right now want to see this stop go green flag and it to cycle back through, and nobody more than Garrett wants to see it cycle through and stay green flag.
Well, and as we talk about Jonah staying out, Aaron Adcock just drove right by him on his outlap. So,
yeah, Garrett Kinder right now, he is. Yeah, it's showing 3 seconds ahead of Jonah and Aaron.
Absolutely.
So we'll have to see. It is a couple lap difference in those tires, and with 27 laps to go here, coming to 26 to go, do those tires hold up, enough, or do 2-lap fresher tires from those guys back in second and third make up that gap on Garrett? But that is a big, big gap to be able to make up, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very tough situation to be in. Now, obviously, as Garrett Kinder, you're happy. You got that lead spot if it all cycles through. But the tough thing is, Jonah Colbert's probably going to be on the attack to try to catch up as quickly as possible because we only have 25 to go. So, as Garrett Kinder, do you give up a little bit of that time to save tire since it is a 2-lap difference? or do you just try to build as big of a gap so that when he does start to make up time, he just doesn't have enough time to make up whatever distance is between you two? So that's a tough call in itself.
Yeah, and if I'm Garrett right now, I'm definitely watching my relative, and I'm keeping in mind, and I'm just maintaining that gap. I don't want to pull away, and I don't want to give up. And if I do give up, I only want to give up maybe 1 to 2 tenths a lap, and at that pace, he's still well within winning this race. But you really got to maintain the gap, and you really got to watch it a little bit to make sure that he stays out front and doesn't burn his tires up just trying to, maintain what he has right now.
Well, Aaron and Jonah are getting after it because they have closed the gap on Garrett down to just over 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm showing 1.7 right now, so Garrett must be saving, or they just... I mean, we did see that last time around, though. Aaron Adcock, he eventually fell back, but for 10 or 15 laps, he was better than Garrett on the short run. So I think that's what we're seeing right now. And outside of this, what we're talking about, Brandon Wallace in the 99 is the only car staying out, and he's going to lose. He's going to lose his lead soon. I don't know how far back Garrett is. I think Garrett might be a good distance back right now still.
He's 16 seconds back from the leader.
Yeah, and sometimes you play those strategies out. If you don't have the race-winning speed and you're a little bit off the pit strategy, the crew chief will make that call. Let's keep the car out. There's a lot of smoke coming out going into 1 and 2, and caution comes out.
Caution comes out for Brandon Wallace, the only one who really stuck it out to try to catch a caution, and he does.
Well,
find where this caution happened.
And that's what you hope for when you stay out like that. You'd have to imagine that everybody's going to come down pit road and grab those tires. Even our lead, the leaders before, they've been out for a little bit of time here, and with as loose as these ARCA cars are, and with only 22 laps to go, and probably be 19 or 18 laps to go when we take the green, you want those 4 fresh tires. So we'll see how he does on fresh tires as compared to the other guys that have been up front all night, Jamie.
Yeah. And, it's going to be really interesting. This is playing out really interesting. Brandon's going to be able to get those 4 tires. They'll all be on equal stuff. It's going to be a good race to the finish, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see what I would imagine is everybody on the same set of tires. And not only for Brandon Wallace is he going to be able to lead as long as he okay, that's tower race, never mind. As long as he executes on pit road, he's going to not only be able to get fresh tires and fuel, but he's going to be able to get a quick repair and fix that car. You see it's very damaged. So yeah, it's working out for him, and Garrett Kinder doesn't go down pit road, neither does Aaron Adcock, Jonah Colbert. So well, he's not going to lead out of pit road, but it works out for him still for Brandon Wallace catching that caution. But man, I don't think anybody pit with him.
Wow, I don't know. I really don't. That's surprising to me. I'm not sure why you're going to leave tires on the rack when you're getting down to this few laps left. I would have been on pit road.
Yeah, same here. That is quite surprising to see these guys not come down pit road with 21 laps to go here and grab those 4 fresh and never come back down pit road again. So we'll have to see how that strategy plays out for them, but that is really, really surprising.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be completely fine for the drivers who stayed out, because I think a lot of people stayed out behind him. Brandon Wallace obviously pit, so I'm not sure that it's going to really hurt these guys, at least up front.
Yeah, I don't know for Garrett though. Garrett has played his strategy well. We saw him come down as one of the first lead lap cars to come down, one of our front runners to come down pit road and grab those fresh tires to get back out front. But now he's on equal tires, with the cars behind him, and I just don't know how well that strategy is going to play out for him. And I think you know, if he would have come down pit road, I definitely think there would have been some other people that would have come with him.
Yeah, man, it's definitely tough, but you know, Brandon Wallace, he gets those 4 fresh tires, assuming that he's still got that fast repair in his pocket to fix that damage on his car. Did he have it left? Did anybody see whether he was able
Let's
to fix
go.
the damage?
Let's go check in on him. Brandon Wallace, here he is. And nope, that car still has a bunch of damage. So it probably already used it on that first wreck, maybe.
Yeah, so it's probably all a moot point then. But you know, if he had a clean car, you know, he's going to look like he's got another 50, 100 horsepower into that hood compared to some of these guys in the back. Although there are still 20 cars on the lead lap. My scoring was showing me 13 just a second ago, but I guess it just must have some weight rounds or something.
Yeah.
So there are more cars than I expected
But
to see.
sorry, the only thing about those lead lap cars that take a wave round is they're going to be starting at the tail end of the field behind the lap cars as well. So they're not going to come into play at least this restart.
Yeah, so I'm showing Brandon Wallace being scored in 12th place right now, or 10th place.
He's showing 10th right now for me as well.
Right now. So he's the first car on fresh tires, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh,
If he had a clean car, I'd be putting money on him. But it's gonna be interesting to see.
I love me some grape Kool-Aid, but
not
really sure. That looks so delicious to me right now. He's still running around with a little bit of damage there, but I am really, really curious to see how this plays out for Garrett. You know, he's been a dominant car this evening, but he's going to have a big challenge in front of him.
Yeah, I don't think Krispy Kreme donuts and that Kool-Aid go well together, but on separate occasions. I don't know. 2 sweets together? I don't know, man.
That's every kid. That's every 10-year-old's fantasy right there.
Okay, well, if you're not 10 years old, sorry. If you're not 10 years old, then that doesn't look great. But all those 10-year-olds out there watching this, I guess, then yeah, Kool-Aid and donuts. That's their dream.
I'm telling you, Rebels, next time we're up in the broadcast booth, we need some grape Kool-Aid and we need some Krispy Kreme donuts because this is an exhausting job up here.
I'm going to email both for sponsorship now.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
The Krispy Kreme Kool-Aid 200. All right. Well, enough about donuts and drinking Kool-Aid. Let's get back to racing. Garrett Kinder, your leader. Jonah Colbert, second. Aaron Adcock, third. And Mickey Isaac, fourth. The green flag is back out. Once again, I mean, this is kind of a copy of the last restart. And caution's already out. Big wreck on the front stretch, I imagine.
Oh, goodness.
I'm actually not seeing the wreck.
I am not either. I don't even see any cars that are...
No, I didn't. Nothing.
Interesting.
I am very confused.
Saw one car coming out of pit road, and it seems to be a damaged car right there. So, not sure what really happened there.
Yeah.
As normally is when these cautions come out, there's somebody wrecked in the racing line or stopped on the track, but really not seeing any of that.
Yeah, I mean, we're here, so let's check out the restart from here. Oh, man, the back of that car. Check out the restart from his point of view and see if anything happened, because he's more on the tail end.
I mean, quite honestly, when you look at the back of that car, I mean, that's really what Krispy Kreme donuts and grape Kool-Aid will do for you. I mean, they will make your insides happy.
So, I'm not sure. See, you see the caution come out right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I see smoke back there, but I don't think that's any wrecking.
Not really sure here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we're just going to have to give up on it. We tried.
We definitely did, and now we're going to be stuck here under caution again, thinking about donuts and Kool-Aid,
They
but
really are.
but Garrett, got a great restart there, and there was a battle for second behind them, and as long as Garrett can maintain that lead, and there's still a lot of laps here to go, even if they get down to 10 to go, or even less than that, Garrett's going to have a mirror-full of a couple drivers behind him, and it'd really be interesting to see if he's able to push that car a little bit more than he has, the rest of this race, and keep it up front.
Beautiful thing about these race sessions when you have 30 plus people is the amount of people that make up a lot of spots. Ray Page started this one in 18th. He's sitting 7th. Josh Oswald sitting behind him in 8th. Started this one in 19th. Jesse Necula just outside the top 10 in 12th. He started this one in 22nd. Jason Lottridge in 13th behind him. Started in 28th. Eric Santee right now sitting in 17th. Started this one in 32nd. John Geiss in 21st. Started this one in 31st. So a lot of big movers when you have that many drivers.
Yeah, it's not surprising to see the Jet move up through the field. Jesse Necula, a lot of these guys that run in the Rebel Series across the board that have been a mainstay within these series move up through the field. So it's good to see some of these guys, some of the comers and goers. And, as we wind this race down, man, it's going to be exciting to see how this thing finishes out, because these ARCA cars, this race tonight, the silver Slate slot car 100. Yeah, I didn't get through the tongue twister there, Jamie, as good as Zach did. But we haven't heard you, take your shot at it. But it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
I'm smart enough to leave it to the professional.
It's all about saying it slowly.
I tried, Zach, and I still messed it up.
Well, to be fair to you, I practiced it before the broadcast. I saw the tongue twister sent to me in a message earlier today, and that's when I was like, oh boy, I better not mess this up. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say this, and I completely apologize. Silver Slate slot car is located in Henderson, Nevada. I was told to mention that. So, yeah, I mean, if you're around Las Vegas, Henderson, Nevada, and you're of legal age, go check them out. It sounds like something that you'd have to be of legal age. I could be completely wrong on what it is, but when I hear slot and Nevada together, I just completely go to that.
No, completely agree with you there. That's exactly where my mind goes. And trust me, Zach, I'm not going to make another attempt at that one there.
I almost tried to say it too quickly and messed up, but I slowed myself down.
But by the end of this race, I think through enough peer pressure, we should be able to get Jamie to, give his shot at it as the lights are off on the pace car. We'll take that green flag with 13 laps to go, with Garrett Kinder still sitting up front. See how this thing plays out.
Yeah, and even with that damage, you still have Brandon Wallace sitting in 10th right now. So that damage is probably going to hurt him in the long run, but maybe we'll see him move up a little bit more inside the top 10 as he sits right on that spot right now on the 5th row outside line. As we're gonna figure out everything here once that pace car pulls off, and see if that inside row gets as good of a jump as it has really all race long. And by turn 1, we might be seeing Jonah Colbert and Aaron Adcock race each other once again for second place. Garrett Kinder holding him a lot longer this time.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely held him off longer there and went late in the restart box, but it played out for him really, really well. As he's got a little bit of a gap here, probably about a car length or two back to the second place car, as they are single file all the way back through 4th at this point in time.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how smart that was, though, because every time he's kind of jumped early, he's left second place, left for battling between Jonah Colbert and Aaron Adcock, and the caution is out. But when he did a slow jump, that helped Jonah Colbert be clear into turn 1, and Jonah Colbert has the freshest tires up here by only a couple laps, but the freshest tires nonetheless.
Yeah, and, you know, as we started to see there a little bit, and we haven't had a chance to really kind of get going green here as we rewind and see where this caution came is,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm not seeing him. Let's see if we can't.
see, we have really got to start pulling up the food sponsors here, because as I saw the White Castle car go by, as my dad always used to call them, I could definitely use a couple rat burgers right now.
What is with everybody in these food sponsors? Come on.
I know this is
We've even
again.
got we've even got In-N-Out burgers out here, and I'm probably the only one that will say
Oh.
this, but I don't really care for them.
Yeah, it blinked out as soon as they wrecked, so that's as much as we're
It
going to
did.
see. Right there. Well, we know it happened where it happened.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna have to talk with Matt Geis here a little bit and make sure that the broadcast team is getting some good food to get us through the night, because I mean, at this point in time, gentlemen, we've got a 3-course meal.
Okay.
We can start off with our grape Kool-Aid, and then move on to some good White Castle, and then finish off with some Krispy Kremes for our dessert.
So I know Patrick is watching my Discord shared screen.
Yes.
Jamie, can you look at the 10 Dave Jones machine? Is that front end as messed up as it looks on my screen? It looks like it's like 2 feet in the air. That is one messed up front end. That, like, I've never seen a front end bashed in like that, or bashed up like that, I guess I could say.
I seem to have a lot of problems getting to specific cars.
Oh, it's all good, but it looks messed up. I
Yeah,
feel bad
Zach.
for Dave. That car is messed up.
Yeah, the front end is wadded up, the hood, both fenders. You know, the splitter is, like you said, Zach, it looks like it's about 2 foot off the ground. You know, if he doesn't have that fast repair or that quick repair in his back pocket, that car is going to be an absolute handful.
Oh, yeah. He's not going to have a good time with that car.
All right, so while we're under caution here, just to let you guys know, the Silver State slot cars have actually nothing to do with gambling.
Really? Okay.
They are a 1/24 scale quarter-mile drag strip located in Henderson, Nevada.
Okay.
So you can build your own 1/24 scale version of your favorite car and go out there and race it.
See, I saw the slot car, right? But also when I see slot, I mean, come on. So I had a 50-50 shot. I missed. But, yeah.
It sounds really cool. I kind of wish I was in Henderson, Nevada.
Yeah, and notice very, very particularly how Jamie slowed himself down to get that sponsor logo out, and like a true professional, was able to do his research and represent, you know, our sponsor for this evening very, very well.
Better than I did, that's for sure.
Oh, you got some race photos. Man, this looks really cool.
We are, you know, getting down to the nitty gritty here. We are under 10 laps to go. It is going to be an exciting race to the finish here in the ARCA series with the Rebels Network.
Yeah, before that caution came out, and I think you were about to mention it, we saw that 31 machine, Jonah Colbert, really make up a lot of ground on Garrett Kinder. And so if we can at least get 2 or 3, 4 laps strung together, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be out front at the end of this thing.
Yeah, Garrett has definitely seemed to have a little bit of that longer run speed. As we noticed in a run earlier this evening, you know, he fell back to third place, quickly got back up to second, and was making a lot of time up. But as we come down here to the end, there's been a lot of short runs and a lot of caution flags. So, you know, it's going to be key for Garrett to really time this restart, get out in front, and stay out in front. Because I got a feeling, JB, if there is a pass for the lead, he's not going to be able to make his way back around.
No, I agree.
Yeah, and if I'm Garrett, I learned from that last restart. I am not waiting longer, because once you get onto that front stretch, it's a little easier to see that guy next to you when you're on that outside row. And so I think you got to go while you're, at least on the exit of the turn, go early, because the one time Garrett has gone late, Jonah Colbert got a fantastic restart. Maybe not side by side with Garrett on the restart, but he was able to get himself out clear for second.
And we're getting ready to find out as the lights are out on the pace car and getting ready to dip down on the pit road. So we'll see if he holds them up in this restart box or if he goes.
Yeah, he waited all the way until the iRacing green flag. Wow, that was extremely surprising. And I guess it still leaves them battling for second, but they're not far behind him.
No, absolutely not. And Adcock and Jonah Colbert are battling side by side right now, which is actually good news for Garrett, as he continues to kind of pull away a little bit. The second and third are battling behind him, and we've got a lot of side-by-side action all the way down through the field.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Garrett's, if he's looking in his mirror, he's saying, thank you, guys. You keep running door to door. I appreciate it. I'm not sure, but Jonah, why he let Garrett get so far in front of him before that restart. Jonah was almost side-by-side with the 23 car. It's late in the race. I'm going to be up as close on that leader as I can possibly get.
And I was just about to say, I hope this thing stays green, because that 3-car battle was about to be fun.
And another restart. We'll have to see how it continues to play out. But we've got the 35 car down on pit road right now, and wow, a lot of damage to the front end of that car.
Hopefully it doesn't disappear like
Take a
we've
look
seen
at
happen
who's sitting in fifth, guys.
Don't tell me it's Brandon.
Nope.
Oh, is it Josh?
Yep.
Josh.
The Jet is sitting in fifth.
So if we take a look at this, man, let's take a look at what happened to Mike first of all, because that's where it happens. Make sure I actually, okay. You guys can see it. There we go. So Mike gets loose, hits the grass, and then just comes up and, well, nowhere to go for Kyle Roberts. That's, just wrong place, wrong time for Kyle Roberts. Nowhere to go for that machine.
So it's always tough.
And that's going to, if it's not a green-white checkered, it's going to be a 3-lap shootout, I feel like, at this point. So 2 or 3 lap shootout. This is best case scenario for Garrett Kinder, because, you saw the 23 and the 31 were all over his back bumper right before a caution came out. As, with 5 to go, even if we get the 1 to green this time by, which I don't know if we will, it would leave us with 3 to go. But I think we'll still have the lights on the pace car this time around, and if that's the case, we'll have a natural green-white checkered, which you don't see too many times.
And I'm really surprised to see Brandon Wallace has not been able to make up anything with those fresher tires. Guess that maybe that damage to the front end of his car is just too much to overcome. And we haven't had a lot of green flag runs since he got those tires, but I would have thought he'd still made up a couple positions, with all these restarts. So I would have made a bad call had it been me.
I really think it's that damage that's hurting him. If we saw a Garrett Kinder, Aaron Adcock, Jonah Colbert, whoever up front, take tires and go back there, the cautions still would be hurting them more than helping, but maybe made up more positions than Brandon has been able to, just because, that's heavy front end damage, and that's really affecting the handling of that car, I have to assume. And, we're going to have, looks like we're not going to use one of our overtime finishes. It looks like we're going to use a natural green-white checker. mentioned, you don't see too many of those. Usually it's an overtime finish, and we could probably very well see an overtime finish here tonight with how crazy these restarts have been.
One thing on this restart too, that we're going to get to see something a little different. Pretty much this whole race, it's been Garrett with Jonah on the outside. This time around, we're going to have Aaron up there. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles it, if he does anything different than the way Jonah has so far tonight.
And I said it last time, see what he goes this time. But if I'm Garrett Kinder, as soon as that pace car pulls off, I'm going. Because if you can build a big enough gap, even on 2-lap older tires than Jonah Colbert, if you can build a big enough gap, it probably won't matter.
Right.
Yeah. I'm definitely thinking that he is set these guys up a little bit here and gone late in the box. The past couple of different restarts, and so I think he's probably going to go a little bit early this time, get that lead like you're talking about, Zach, and hopefully be able to set sail and take this thing home.
Yeah, but that's usually the longest lap of your life, is trying to get around to that white flag and a green-white checkered before a caution can come out.
Oh, absolutely. That is the longest lap, because you're just praying, just give me the white flag, give me the white flag. But, these guys tonight here in this ARCA series, in the silver Slate slot car 100, see, Jamie, I can do it too. They real competitive, driving hard and battling for all these positions. So I'm excited to see the finish of this.
I've had times in a race where I'm leading before where I actually go across the start-finish line for the white flag and a caution still somehow comes out, and they're like, nope, green-white checkered. So hopefully that doesn't happen to whoever's leading here tonight when we get the white flag.
That has got to be a terrible feeling right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, I saw that in a race yesterday, in the fifth race. I wasn't leading, but I was up with the top group, and I was across the start-finish line when the caution came out, and they still made it a green-white checker finish. The leader had definitely taken the white flag.
Well, pace car's getting ready to drop off. Let's see what Garrett decides to do on this restart.
Oh, Aaron says, I'm going to give you the little bumper here. And he's holding it down.
Green flag is back out, green-white checkered, and a pretty good jump for Garrett. We'll see how well that works out with 2 laps to go. Like we mentioned, got to get that white flag or else we'll have an overtime finish. I believe we have at least 2 of those in this series. And it's a pretty good lead, but still a lap and a half left.
Wow, and that was one heck of a restart by Garrett Kinder there. He was able to pull away.
There we go.
And
Caution is
we're
out.
back under caution again.
Man, that's even more of a killer, because as Garrett, if you're Garrett, you'd like to say you can replicate another restart like that, but it's tough. And that was probably the best jump he could have gotten, to where he had a big lead and second place and third place were battling each other. And, he's going to have to do it again.
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for a better restart if you're Garrett Kinder. So hopefully he can replicate it again, but, man, that's going to be tough to do, Jamie.
Yeah, and it's just, just saw the same thing again with Aaron there on the outside in the second spot. I'm not quite understanding what him and Jonah are doing on these restarts by allowing Garrett to get so far in front of them before he goes. The rule just says you can't pass the leader. It doesn't say you can't be even with the leader. These guys are lining up nearly door to door with the third place car, and so when Garrett goes, he's leaving them. There's no fight. Get up there and make the leader work for it.
Tell us how you feel. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Come on. I
agree.
You're trying to win a race here. Get up there and make the guy work for it. He already gets to decide when to go, right? So he has that advantage. Don't give him any more.
I agree.
I get he's going to get the jump on you, but you're setting yourself up to be door to door with that third place car, which is exactly what we're seeing. And then he gets even further away. And so by the time it gets all sorted out, this race is going to be over and Garrett's going to be the winner.
Yeah, it has been real interesting to see. He continues to go late in the box. And I know we talked about it a lot coming to this last restart, and maybe he would go a little bit earlier this time to get a little bit of a jump, but it seems he's figured something out, whether it is he understands his car a little bit more or how the other, 3 or 4 drivers behind him are restarting. But he is timing these things really, really well.
One thing I'm noticing, guys, we're seeing people on the apron. I think fuel might be an issue if we have to do another green-white checkered. Because usually, I mean, you don't see people go down to the apron unless they're trying to save some fuel.
Well, I mean, if these guys are, at that point in time, and I would definitely be shutting the car off and letting it coast. If we're seeing some guys down there on the apron, and it does seem like there's some definite gaps in the field, so there might be some guys shutting it off and trying to save a little bit of fuel here to make it through this green-white checkered. So we'll really have to pay attention here, see if some of these guys end up running out of fuel, and how hard they, or how much fuel they're saving right now. As again, we see more cars going down to the apron right now.
Aaron Adcock, Josh Oswald. Looks like Ray Page. Kai Shepard as well down there. Nobody else. But yeah, this is that's another one. And yeah, Garrett's down there. This is, I mean, you talk about adding fuel to the fire. Not only are you having to worry about, how good of a jump you get, how you're going to run your line through 1 and 2, the first lap or whatever. Now you got to worry about, hey, am I going to have enough fuel to get to the end of this thing?
Yeah, and who's the one guy not worrying about it? Jonah, and he's the one that came 2 laps late.
He did, yes.
And we were criticizing him for that, and that may turn out to be convincing the race.
And one of the other things I kind of want to point out, we saw this under the last caution and didn't really comment on it, but we saw Garrett really pull ahead of the pace car and then slow back down to get behind it. So I think even on that last caution, Garrett realized if it was going to be a couple green-white checkers, he needed to save some fuel. And we saw it again about a half a lap ago where he was a good 6, 7, maybe even 10 car lengths ahead of the pace car and then slowed back down to get in front of it. So I'm sure he's either clutching it right now or just, killing the car and then, pop starting it again to save as much fuel as he possibly can.
Yeah. I just want to say, too, real quick, 'cause I know it might sound like I'm being critical of these guys. I'm not meaning to be critical of them. It's easy for us and, to sit here and watch this race and say these things. And it's a whole different ball game when you're actually in that seat and have to make these decisions on the fly. So definitely, I don't want guys to watch this back and think that I'm saying they're doing anything wrong. That's not the case. But I'm just saying from what I'm seeing here, what I would be doing in that instance.
Well, if you watched the Martinsville race, you saw Mike Joy. When Cody Ware wrecked for the 3rd time, he went, oh, it's just Cody Ware. Like, at some point, when someone wrecks enough, and and that's not anybody in here, but as a broadcaster, when someone wrecks enough times, you can show your displeasure.
Here we go. That pace car's getting ready to drop off. We're going to see if they have enough fuel and tires left to battle out here for the win.
Green-white checkered attempt number 1 of overtime is underway, and great jump for Garrett Kinder, but will there be a battle for second in turn 1 and 2? They're wrecking on the front stretch.
Oh, big wreck. A lot of cars involved here. Still a lot of cars spinning.
Oh, wow.
They're getting collected up.
Big wreck going into turn 1.
Well, the drama's building now because if they were worried about fuel, last one,
yeah,
they've got panic mode at this point.
So we're here with Philip Manzo, and maybe just a bunch of checkups causing this. I'm not sure. Let's find out. Oh, you see him up there, make contact, and right in front of the field.
And it just starts to collect all the cars. As you're coming through something like that on a green-white checkered, you're trying to grab every place you can, and when you see the smoke at this point in the race, you just grab the wheel and pray you pick the right line, and some of these guys did, and obviously, as we see, as for some of these guys got collected up, they weren't able to make it through there. So tough race for some of these guys that kept it clean all night long. But we're gonna stack them back up and
one more time
and see if Garrett can hold them off.
See if they can make it on fuel. I think if you can't make it on fuel, you have to pit here. And we're not seeing them pit because, your pride wants you to stay out there and just be like, oh, I can somehow make it. But if you can't, you're not going to get to the start-finish line. You got to at least give yourself a chance if you know you're going to run out of fuel. And we're not seeing our leaders go down pit road right now.
And I think you'll see it again. I think you'll see Garrett, pick up a little speed, cut that car off, let it coast, get as much gas and save as much fuel as he possibly can. And you'll see a lot of the guys behind him, they're staying low. And if they're not in that bottom line, they're down on the apron, trying to save as much fuel as they can, trying to keep the fuel in the pickup of those cars, keep that engine running. Wouldn't be surprised here a little bit if we don't see somebody run out of fuel, as much as we're seeing these guys trying to save right now.
Yeah, let's just hope it's not one of the people up front that takes out a whole bunch of more cars when it does happen.
Yeah, if you're in that 4th or 5th position or back, Mickey Isaac, Josh Oswald behind them, as long as you know you can make it on fuel, definitely not time to give up because you could still win this race if fuel is a problem up front. But if fuel's a problem up front, it's going to be a fuel problem for you as well. So unless you pit way later than they did, but I think the only person who really stayed out was Brandon Wallace, and he's up to 7th right now. So maybe if we had another green-white checkered and it really and these guys might be in danger, I don't know, but they don't seem like they are, or else I feel like they would have pit. But if we had another green-white checkered, I think Brandon Wallace would be in the hot seat for winning this race because I think everybody else would be close to running out of fuel.
Yeah, and it's quite surprising, and he's still out there racing and running a great race. I mean, he played that strategy perfectly. He stayed out there on that green flag run and, made a great call to hope for that caution. It came, got back on, the same tire strategy there a little bit, even a little bit fresher than guys in front of him. And to see him sitting in 7th and with a shot maybe hopefully to get up there in the top 5, I mean, just an outstanding run with a damaged up there, great Kool-Aid car.
So I'm taking a look at our top 10 real quick. So the top 4, Garrett Kinder, Jonah Colbert, Aaron Adcock, and Mickey Isaac, they're all where they're all sitting, 1st through 4th. They qualified there. But when you look at the back half of the top 10, the only driver in the back half of the top 10, 5th through 10th, that started inside the top 10 in this race is Kai Shepard in 6th. He started in 8th. Josh Oswald in 5th, started this one in 19th. Brandon Wallace, we just talked about him. He started this one 12th. Ray Page in 8th right now, started 18th. P9 right now is Jesse Necula. He started this one 22nd. And Josh Smith in 10th, started this one in 20th. So in that back half of the top 10, only one driver started this one in the top 10.
Yeah, that is awesome. And not surprising. And Jamie called it out a little bit earlier. Not surprising to see the Jet come up through the field. Not surprising to see Necula come up through the field. Good to see these guys up here in the top 10, and hopefully they'll be able to mix it up here a little bit and maybe even pull out that top 5 finish. But these top 4 drivers, like you said, Zach, I mean, they are running exactly where they qualified. Don't know that's how they're going to finish up, but man, I am excited to see how this ARCA Silver Slate Slot Cup 100. See, I did it again, Jamie. Finishes up.
You did say cup instead of car, but I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. But I'm really looking forward to this. We saw that when we had 7 to go before the caution came out. We saw how heated that battle was about to get, and we'll only have 2 laps now. Hopefully the caution doesn't come out again. But yeah, if we can stay green for 2 laps, this is going to be one heck of a battle. If Garrett Kinder can get the restart like he did the first green-white checkered, 2 green-white checkers ago, it's going to be wrapped up no matter what, in my opinion. but it's really difficult to get that good of a jump twice in 3 attempts. So we'll see as we're getting ready for the last and final restart no matter what happens.
Well, this is going to get real exciting, and every one of those drivers understand it, and that pace car is off, and we're getting ready to take the green flag, and there it is. Garrett actually, gets that early start in the box and pulls out.
But Jonah Colbert is clear for second, so the race is definitely not over for the lead. As long as we stay green, I think we're going to see Jonah Colbert have a shot at the win here down the back stretch. 1.5 laps to go.
Garrett got a little loose getting off of 2.
Yeah, and Jonah is definitely making up a little bit of time here. It's a little lower into the corner, so this is going to be an exciting last lap here as the rest of the field even tightens up. So Garrett is definitely going to have to wheel this car if he's going to bring it home in victory lane, and doesn't quite make the bottom there.
White flag is out. Wrecking behind him is Aaron Adcock. No.
Oh, no.
A race for the lead
Yeah,
through 3 and 4 for the last time. Jonah Colbert on the outside in the 31. Garrett Kinder on the inside of the 76. Going to use that inside to propel himself back to the lead. Garrett Kinder wins here at Texas Motor Speedway, and that is 2 in a row for that 76 machine.
You hate to see it for Adcock back there. Ran a great race all night long. Battled in the top 3, battled for the win, and just to get tangled there up at the end. But congratulations to Garrett. Fantastic run. Really kind of controlled this race from start to finish. And as we see many times in these races, if you control those restarts, oftentimes you'll propel yourself to the win. So outstanding race tonight in this ARCA series.
And Mickey Isaac, who ran this entire race in 4th, finishes in that podium spot.
Yeah, I saw he got through that incident there that took Adcock out. He stuck through there, and so did the Jet. That puts the Jet in the 4th spot. I'm not sure what happened to Brandon Wallace. He unfortunately, somebody's upset or
No, that's just a congratulatory bump.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah.
And I was about to say we're going to see more of it here. We're going to see more of it.
Yep. And,
I still don't think it's over.
Yeah, and I think we'd be remiss without mentioning, Garrett's primary sponsor at kinderonly.com.
Oh my God.
So you'll never be lonely. So if you get anybody out there, please, by all means, visit kinderonly.com. And I know Garrett would be happy as that being his primary sponsor.
How is Garrett's car still? I think it's just rolling. There's no way that car's running.
Yeah, well.
No.
There's no way that thing can run. Oh my God.
Continues to happen.
Oh boy! Imagine if they did this in real life after every win, just destroyed their race cars. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get Garrett in here because he can't do anything else, I imagine, other than get hit. All right, we're gonna pull him in here while he gets hit. Hey, Garrett, this is Zach, Jamie, and Patrick in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, man, great win tonight. First of all, I'm going to talk to you about you had, I believe, like 2 lap older tires than Jonah because he pit 2 laps later than you. Did you ever think in any of those restarts that those fresher tires might end up giving him the edge over you?
Yeah, that's why I was considering myself pretty fortunate to get some halfway decent jumps on those last few restarts because it was in the back of my mind he had fresher tires, so yeah, I'm pretty fortunate it worked out the way it did, and luckily we got to finish this thing actually running hard.
Yeah, Garrett, that was one heck of a race this evening. From start to finish, you really controlled a lot of those restarts, and you talked about it there a little bit before. Is fortunate enough to get some of those restarts. Tell me about how those restarts went and what was going through your mind, because we watched you a couple different times kind of go a little bit late in the restart zone, and on that last one you went a little bit early. So what was kind of some of your strategy there?
Well, the first couple I did, I went basically at the same spot, and I knew that he was getting pretty dang close to timing it just about perfect. So I decided I'd start playing some games and figure out something different. And so I just started mixing it up, go early, go late, go just whenever, just try and get a jump and throw them off a little bit.
All right, Garrett, congratulations on the win, man. It was great to watch. Put on one hell of a show. Actually, 2 good runs for you this evening. So anybody you would like to thank, any sponsors?
Yeah, I want to give Reaper Racing a shout out, and then also our main sponsor, Kinder Farm and Ranch. Everybody over at Full Send Racing, I want to give a shout out to Sherry. She's we've been conversating in the YouTube comments, so got a fan. So hi, Sherry. Shout out to my whole family, mom, dad. I think they're both still watching, and then I think my niece and nephew might be, not 100% sure, but thank y'all up in the booth, everybody over at Original Rebels Racing, and hopefully we'll see y'all again soon.
All right, man. Great job tonight.
Yeah, congratulations, Garrett.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Jonah Colbert, our second place finisher. Now we're going to go find him. There he is. Hey, Jonah, it's Zach, Jamie, and Patrick in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, how's it going, Zach?
Hey, going good for me, and it went good for you. I know you weren't able to pull off the victory, but it was still a fantastic race for you, man. Finishing second here tonight. Take us through your mindset on that last and final restart.
Basically just trying not to let Kendrick get out to too big of a jump. He's really good at restarts, and starting in first gear is pretty much a must with him. 23 didn't get a run, so we were able to cut down, but it just didn't have enough in it, for the end there to get a run on him. Tried everything we could. Just wasn't much you can do with 2 laps.
Yeah, Jonah. Hey, this is Patrick up here in the booth, and man, heck of a race. It was fun watching the three of you, battle all night. But it seemed to come down to a lot of those restarts, like you were talking about. And Garrett seemed to go a little bit late in the box, and sometimes a little bit early. So, what was your kind of strategy in trying to keep pace with him and time where those restarts were happening?
Man, it's basically just watching my speed and trying to maintain that same speed. I actually got into the back of him on one of those restarts where I started behind him because I think he checked up just a tad and I bumped him. But yeah, I just try to keep that number on my side window and just drop the hammer as soon as I hear it. But with all those cautions, we just couldn't get a good long run going, and it takes those cars a whole lap to get up to speed. By then, it's you're basically a 1 lap shootout.
Yeah, hey, John, this is Jamie. Congratulations, man. That was a great run. You guys put on a great show. Unfortunately, the 23 car got caught up in the incident that happened there at the end. The 3 of y'all put on a great race tonight. So congratulations to you. Do you have anybody you'd like to give shout outs to? Any sponsors you need to thank?
No, you guys did a great job. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Congratulations again on your great run.
Thanks.
Yeah, congratulations, Jonah.
Have a good one.
All right, and that'll lead us to our final interview, Mickey Isaac, who got through that last wreck, and that's actually what we're going to talk to him about here in a second. Hey, Mickey, it's Zach, Jamie, and Patrick in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, well, great race tonight. I think you were in that 4th place really all night long until that last lap. I was kind of focused in on the leaders, and I saw the wreck kind of on the back end. Take us through how you got through that wreck and where you were when it happened.
Man, as it's a complete glitch, me and Josh both pretty much drove through, and I had nowhere to go. I was on the apron, and Josh scooted over and let me back up on the track. He didn't have to do that.
Well, I mean, Mickey, heck of a race tonight. You were battling in the top 4 all night long. I know it came down to a lot of restarts there at the end, and the green white checkers and when to go and when not to go. So, what was kind of some of your strategy, during some of those restarts and how to stay up front there?
I was trying to time the leader, just right, not just the guy in front of me, but just the leader himself. Sometimes you do it right, and sometimes you have to let off and not bump the guy in front of you. So it's just a gamble.
All right, hey Mickey, it's Jamie. Hey, congratulations on that 3rd place finish. A big part of racing is just getting yourself into position, and you did a great job of that tonight. You battled, you were up front with the leaders all night. It's not a fluke. You just put yourself in a position to be there, take advantage of the situation when it occurred. So congratulations. Anybody you'd like to thank, sponsors, shout outs?
I just appreciate you guys, for doing this every week.
All right, man. Well, once again, congratulations. Y'all put on a great show. So thank you for that.
Yeah, congratulations, Mickey.
All right, thanks, guys. Y'all have a good night.
You too. All right, fellas, that is our top 3, and I'll go ahead and bring up the results for tonight's race. And while I do, I'll send it over to you two for your final thoughts on the race.
Yeah, that was a fun race, and to watch these guys in these ARCA cars wheeled around Texas Motor Speedway, as loose as these cars were, a lot of pit strategy came into play. When to pit and when not to pit, and when to put those tires on. And we saw some guys there at the end that looked like they might be a little bit short on fuel, but at the end of the day, you know, having control of this race like Garrett did and being able to control those restarts was absolutely key. So big congratulations to him, and congratulations to Jonah and Mickey for those podium finishes. And man, just a awesome race to call tonight, Zach and Jamie. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. This is the third race I've done with the ARCA series this season, and every one of them have been entertaining, fun to watch races. This is probably the closest one out of them, but this was good, tight racing throughout this whole race, and the top 4 were pretty much the same throughout the night. Unfortunately, Aaron, Aaron Adcock in the 23 car had an issue there. Not exactly sure what happened with that, but that did ruin his night, and he didn't get to finish up there with the other 3. But great racing again, and I believe we're at Homestead next week. Is that where we're at?
Yep.
And Pat, I guess this is a good time to let you know that you will be calling that one again, because Zach here will be in Dega.
And I didn't even get the invite, Zach.
I didn't even think about it until we were about to go live. I was gonna message you.
Man, didn't even get the invite. But
Didn't-
no,
hey, if you want to show up to Florida and drive with me to Dega, then I'll bring you along.
Oh, don't tempt me with a good time. But no, man, running with the Rebels and calling these races and being, be a part of the Rebels Racing Networks. Looking forward to calling the race next week at Homestead Motor Speedway with these ARCA guys. Looking forward to another great race and just a lot of fun. So for me and and everybody else here, awesome race. Congratulations again to Garrett and the top 3 finishers, and looking forward to seeing what these boys do at Homestead next week.
Yep, we like you mentioned, we head to Homestead next week for 67 laps, and that should be here on Rebels Racing Network. So make sure to tune in for that. Overall, just a great race tonight, and thank you guys for joining me once again. And I'm looking forward to maybe I think we'll be at the dirt track that night, but I'll try to tune in on my phone and watch you guys broadcast this.
Outstanding. Thanks again.
Yep. Great time,
right.
guys. Thanks.
Yeah, it's been Zach, Jamie, and Patrick from the booth here in Rebels Racing Network from Texas Motor Speedway. Y'all have a good night.